What's up YouTube, it is your boy Darriusofficiall and I am back with another YouTube video. Okay, so now, okay, first, let me just say this. I know y'all probably tired of seeing the same scenery and I promise y'all it's gonna change. I be trying to give y'all vlogs and everything as well, but right now my life is a little bit hectic, which I will explain in another YouTube video. But just to kind of sum it up, I am in the process of moving and everything out of my apartment and then I plan on moving somewhere else. So, yeah, y'all just bear with me, okay? But outside of that, I know that y'all read the title and yes, you read the title correct. This is a story time about my psycho ex. Now I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of iffy about telling the story time because for one, the person is psycho. So like, and they watch my videos. Yeah, that's really it. Wait, hold on, let me make sure I don't look crazy. Let me fix myself. Do I look crazy? Y'all gonna say, oh no Darrius, you look fine, you know, you look okay, but y'all really be out here having me like looking crazy. Anyway, yeah, okay, so boom, how can I start this off? Okay, so well, let's start it off by this. I knew this guy and he was actually like my brother's friend. I know y'all tired of like, oh Darrius, what's up with you and like your brother's friends and everything, but let me tell y'all, this situation was different than the other story time that y'all know, that story time, the big story time on my channel that I've actually took the video down about that story time, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's like, if you know, you know, but like if you don't know, I guess like you just kind of missed the beat and you should have just been there. You just had to be there. But I took that story time down for personal reasons. Well, I don't know, maybe I feel like after a while I got insecure about it again. I'll probably re-upload it, but I don't know. But if you see that there is a story time that's not put up then, or that was taken down, you know, then you notice. Anyway, however though, back to the story. So yeah, this was my brother's friend. So let's go back to when I was 15, going on 16, and I would be going back and forth from my dad's and my mom's house. At one point I actually was staying with my father. So I stayed here in Chicago, but like I would very so often like go to my dad's house and he stayed maybe like 2 hours away. Well, he still stays 2 hours away, but you know, anyway, let's wait, before we do get into anything, let's just give a little backstory. So I stayed with my dad once upon a time when I was like 12 up until I was 14, I believe, and then I moved back with my mom and then I would just see my dad every so often. Now my brother had this friend and we gonna name the friend so the friend is a psychotic ex. Let's just put it out there, okay? We gonna name the friend, what can I name the friend without the friend knowing that I'm talking about the friend? Like, even though it's clear as day it's gonna be about the friend, but if the friend asks, I'm gonna say, hey, I didn't use your name, so like, you're really not the friend. But let's say the friend's name is, let's say the friend name is Ty. Let's say Ty, okay? So T-Y. Okay, he was DL at the time and so was I. Now let's skip to like, I've always known of him because he was my brother's friend, and then like he always knew me because I was his friend's little brother, right? So now from the age 12 up until like 15, I haven't known this man to ever like step foot in my house. We just always knew him from school because like he was my brother's friend, you know, like we all went to the same school, whatever, cool. Might hang out after school, but you know, whatever, right? Y'all, this story is so crazy, y'all just gotta bear with me, all right? Anyway, let's skip back to 15. So around the age 15, I remember I was at my dad's house and the boy, so Ty texted my phone. I was sitting on the couch, he texted my phone and he's like, yo, where's your brother, such and such, yada yada yada, we're supposed to kick it. And I was like, I actually don't know, like he left out, but I don't know if he was supposed to kick it with you or not, blah blah blah. Turns out I guess my brother sent him off saying, oh yeah, we can link, but they didn't even kick it. I guess my brother ended up going to go chill with his girlfriend, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so now the boy Ty was like, oh okay, he was like, and why you didn't tell me you was back in town? And I'm like, wait, sorry y'all know I gotta describe people because y'all be getting mad at me when I don't describe them, so let me describe them, okay? Okay, so Ty is, let's say, maybe like 5'10", like brown skin, you know, like brown skin, very attractive, green eyes and big lips. So let's just say it like that. Like, I don't know, I really wish I could show y'all a picture, but I'm just not, that man is psychotic. But Yeah, so very attractive, and you would think like the person was, I mean, they are chill, but like, you know, I don't know at the time. Okay, let's go back to the story. Okay, so yeah, he's all like, why didn't you tell me like you were back in town? And I'm like, well, I thought my brother would have told you. why do I have to tell you myself, you know? And so literally within just the short conversation that we was having on messages, I found out that he was bisexual. And I'm like, okay. And you know me, y'all know me, like, especially as a kid, I might have said that I wasn't gay or that I wasn't bisexual, but like, you could tell, you know, like you could tell. Like, I was just always different. I don't know, like, I guess, Anyway, so I'm pretty sure he already knew. So he was trying to shoot his shot. And also, let me clear this up as well. He was a year older than me. Like, I want to say like a year and a half. So if I was 15, he was probably about to be like 17 or something like that. Well, really a year. Yeah, so he was a year older than me. Because I was 15, I was about to be 16, I believe. And he was about to be 17. So yeah, anyway, our little messages just short messages, but within that time I found out like he was bisexual. Okay, cool. And he basically was trying to get on that with me and saying, you know, hey, yeah, I be seeing you, blah blah blah, such and such. And I'm like, and then he just really asked me, he was just like, please don't tell your brother, blah blah blah. I'm like, if I tell my brother, I'm gonna be telling him myself, and I'm not ready to come out the closet. No sir, no ma'am, no chicken, no turkey, no ham. I am okay. Like, your secret is safe with me, I promise you. So anyway, mind y'all, I'm at my dad's house, so he stays 2 hours away. I'm not going home no time soon, like weeks from now, you know. So anyway, let's skip, like, it was a few days or like a week, I want to say. And I remember sitting in my grandma's house on her couch, and Ty texted me and was like, yo, what's up, you trying to kick it today? And I'm like, well, my brother said he was doing something else today, and he's like, no, I'm talking about me and you. And I'm like, it's happening, the big bang. Like, oh god, you know, like, y'all, I'm literally sitting here like I'm fucking scared now. Yeah, like, I had my encounter with like dudes, because, you know, like, I lost, okay, like, hey, if you don't know me, like, I lost my virginity at 14. I was a hoe. No, but seriously, like, I did lose my virginity at 14. And it was like, you know, I don't know, it happened, you know. So like, hey, so like, I was familiar with guys, but like, I wasn't talking to guys, like, you know, like, it was like I was still like, I don't know, at that time I didn't even have game, and then too, I was young, and also like, I was scared, so I didn't know. So this was like my second real encounter of like having like emotions, you know what I mean? So he's like, you want to kick it? And I'm like, sure. He's like, okay, meet me at this McDonald's such and such. And y'all, I remember this shit because like, I remember we was just arguing about it. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, what time, whatever. He's like, meet me in an hour, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. Y'all, I was already like, I stayed behind that McDonald's, or I didn't, but my grandmother stayed behind that McDonald's, so he had to walk a distance. I didn't. I literally only had to go through the little parking lot in the back, and then crawl through like this gate to get to this McDonald's and be there. So I'm texting him, and I'm like, where you at? And he's like, I'm at the McDonald's. And I'm like, okay. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was a little scared, so I was kind of taking my time. I was really taking my time. He's like, I'm at the McDonald's. I'm like, okay. So I'm walking to the McDonald's. I get to the McDonald's, I don't see anyone, right? So that was that. I text him, I say, where you at? He's like, I was just there, where were you, blah blah blah. I'm like, common sense would tell you to fucking wait. Like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck would you leave if the point of you coming here is to see each other? Anyway, so that was that. Mind you, like, since it's so weird, since like we expressed to each other that we was kind of feeling each other, we haven't really seen each other since then. You see what I mean? Like, I would always see him with my brother, but after that conversation when I was at my dad's house and we was texting, I haven't seen him. We were supposed to link up at McDonald's, nothing happened. I was 15, about to be 16. Keep that in mind. He had text me, and we would still text throughout these days of me being at my dad's house, and like, okay, you know, he's like, oh, hey, yeah, let's try again today, blah blah. And I was just like, I'm not even feeling it, because you kind of sent me off, like, you know, whatever, cool. So it was time for me to go home to Chicago. Went home to Chicago. Mind you, still haven't seen this man. He kicked it with my brothers and everything, but I haven't seen him. Okay, so I go home back to Chicago, and at this point, like, we talking heavy, y'all, like, literally talking heavy. And he's like, yo, like, I actually want to pursue you, blah blah. And I'm like, yo, like, no, not at all. Like, because like, I stay in Chicago now, and I don't know. That's That's what I said. But did that happen? No. We was actually talking and we would like FaceTime, all of this, whatever. Y'all, this man, like, y'all gotta bear with me on this story. This story might be long, but it's okay. This man was like, I don't know, he was like very controlling. As soon as I got to Chicago, he was like, share your passwords with me, share your Snapchat, share your Facebook, share Instagram. And I was like, okay, share yours. So we literally shared each other's like everything. Like, y'all, when I seen the stuff that this man was talking about with like females, it was wild. Like, it was crazy. So I'm like he would say certain stuff to them, like, I don't know, it was just, y'all, it was just mind-blowing. It was just very mind-blowing. So at that time, I probably haven't been back to my dad's house in like, I think a year and a half. So I was 17 now at this time when I went back, and he was 18. So got back, and literally everything's cool. Everything is cool. Then maybe like the first week of me being there, I literally ran into him at the store when I was with my stepmother, and shit was so awkward because it's like we planned on seeing each other, but not that way. You know what I mean? Like, we planned on seeing each other, but not to bump in each other at the store. So it was very weird. It was very weird. And then my stepmom was like, oh, ain't that? I was like, yeah, that's such and such friend, such and such being my brother. So she like, oh, I'm like, yeah, like, okay. And then mind you, we around the store, we shopping, and then I get a message on my phone, and he texts me and says, come to the bathroom. At the bathroom? What are you doing again? I'm like, fuck. My heart is pumping, my heart's pumping, my heart's pumping. So I'm like, all right, I tell my stepmom, I'm like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. She like, okay, I'm gonna be in this aisle, blah, blah, blah. I go to the bathroom. He in there, leaned on the sink with his phone in his hand. And y'all, I was just like, what's up? He was like, what's up? I finally get to see you now. And I'm like, yeah. Hey. And he like, you're not gonna give me a hug? So we hugged, and then he gave me a kiss, and that was it. Like, it was, you know, that was it. So that was my first initial like time seeing him since we've kind of expressed that to each other, you know. So after he gave me the little kiss or whatever, because it was just really simple, it was a little peck. It wasn't no tonguing down or nothing, it was just a little peck. I was like, okay, well, I need to get back to my stepmama before she get the, you know, hey, what are you in there? You taking a shit or something, you know? Even though I was only in there for maybe like a good 2 minutes, but still, you know, guys pee fast, and it's just, hey. So he was like, well, what are you doing after you leave the store? And I was like, I'm just going back to my dad's house. And he's like, okay, well, let's kick it. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, fine, okay. Just text me and let me know what we mean at, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. Mind y'all, I was working off Wi-Fi. So me being in the store, I was able to get like the store Wi-Fi and everything. But when I'm outside, like, I ain't had no connection, no nothing. Because like, yeah, like I was working with an iPod at the time, and it was fucking crazy. So yeah, I just had to say that because also that kind of, I think that kind of like explains why like he left when I was walking to McDonald's, because I didn't have Wi-Fi. So maybe he thought like I wasn't texting back, you know what I mean? So later on that day, he texted me telling me to meet him at the park, like at the school park that we went to. And I was like, okay. Met up with him right there. We literally sat on the swings and talked, right? And I remember the conversation that we had, because like, it's so funny, y'all, because his ex, okay, so his ex-girlfriend at the time that he was like on and off with, she tried to hop in my DM, and I remember mentioning it to him, and he's like, yeah, man, she a hoe and blah, 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 such and such. And I'm like, okay, it's funny how both y'all want to talk to me. So I'm like, all right. And then I just remember the way how he was talking about her. Like, she didn't give off that vibe, but the way he was talking about it, like, he seemed like very like angry, y'all. Like, when I say so angry, like he was like, he wanted to hurt her. And I'm like, calm down, like, you know, like, okay, what did she do? Why did y'all break up? And he just like, she claimed she didn't have time for him, and then turned around and had a whole relationship else, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, none of my business, but you still going hard in the booth, like, the female, calm down, you know, like, whatever, boom. Okay, let's fast forward some. It's about time for me to go home again, y'all. So since then, we've kicked it. When I was at my dad's house, we kicked it maybe like a good 4 times on our own. And then he did come around when my brother was around at the basketball court. It was just all kind of chilling, and I just kind of, you know, we just had the mass light. So now I go home back to Chicago, and I remember the first day that I literally touched back to Chicago, I start getting these weird like messages from weird iCloud emails. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird. Like, the messages was, y'all, I wish I don't have them anymore because the shit was so long ago, but the message was like, how do you know Ty? Where do you know Ty from? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so I'm lying and saying, I don't know a Ty and blah, 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 you know? So the message is like, oh, okay, all right. And then an hour after that, literally an hour, because I remember, y'all, I was sitting there like, I was panicking. nigga. I'm like, what's going on? He FaceTimes me and like, yeah, so you don't know me now? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And so he's like, the messages, like, you talking about you don't know me? And I'm like, that was you? He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, like, what? Like, you being weird. Like, I don't know, that's just, you know, that's weird. So y'all, like, mind y'all, this is when I was 17. So we still like kids. We still teenagers. So the shit was just weird. Like, it was weird. He would do weird stuff like that, or like just weird stuff. So we getting into it and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I'm thinking, you know, it's somebody, like, they thinking we messing around. He talking about, and if it was, you gonna say you don't know me? I said, what do you expect me to say? He talking about, you could have said you knew me, but I said, I don't know, you know, like, you being weird, man. So let's get to maybe like a month. Was it a month? It was really close to my birthday, because I remember my dad and my brothers and my stepmom, I remember they drove down here. So he was texting me and was saying, yeah, so I heard that your family's about to go to Chicago. I asked your stepmom if I could ride with. She said that's fine. Why? Like, no, like, you doing a lot. Like, I don't want to be around you publicly no more, because I don't know, I feel like I can't really express or have my emotions, rather, you know. So like, I would just rather not be around you, you know. Okay, turns out he didn't end up coming, but I haven't seen him from since I was 17 all the way until I was 20. Literally, like, we stopped talking and everything, and like, cause he was doing a lot of weird shit. But I'm not even worried about that right now. Wait till y'all get to this part right here. Stop talking to him. Boom, 20 came around. And so at this time I was dealing with somebody, but then like we ended up breaking up. And it was one time I had went down to my dad's house. Mind you, we out the closet now, so there's like no, you know, no excuses on anything. So I drive down to my dad's house and I let him know, like, I text him, I said, hey, I'm coming back in town. He's like, okay, cool, I want to see you. Drive down to my dad's house, and I stayed with him literally the whole time I was there. Like, not my dad, but Ty. I stayed with Ty. I stayed with him and one of his roommates. And y'all, when I tell y'all, the man is just more weird, like more weird than, he's literally crazy. He would try to like pin me down on the bed, and like, I don't know, like, I remember which just made me remember, wait y'all, for real, I got another story time for y'all. I'm sorry, a little intermission, I got another story time. Anyway, okay, boom. Anyway, so yeah, he would try to like pin me down on the bed and like try to take my phone and scroll through it and stuff, and I'm like, bruh, like, no, especially now that we grown, like, you can't be doing that, you know. Like, come on, man, like, relax, cause no, like, it's just, it was weird stuff like that. So boom, maybe like the third day of me being there, I remember we got into it bad. We got into a very big argument because he woke up with like an attitude or something, and he called me on my name. He called me a bitch, and I was like, you know, I don't even play like that. And instead of him apologizing, he just was adding fuel to the fire. So that was it. I'm literally leaving out because I'm like, I'm not gonna stay here. I'd rather go stay with my parents, you know, my dad and my stepmom. As I'm packing my stuff back into my suitcase, this man grabs my suitcase, throws it down the stairs outside of the apartment complex, throws it down the stairs, and he was like, okay, you don't even gotta get your shit and get out because it's already outside. And I'm like, we could get into it all day, every day, that's fine, but don't touch me and don't touch my belongings, you know what I mean? Because that's really gonna piss me off, because now I feel like you really want to make me mad, so now I'm gonna give you what you're looking for. So we literally at the top of the stairs tussling everything. The motherfucker tries to push me down the goddamn stairs, y'all. Literally tried to push me down the stairs. It was bad, it was bad. His roommate ended up breaking up the fight and everything. So I'm like, all right, I hop in my car and I'm driving, about to go to my dad's house. My dad probably stayed like 15 minutes away from him, and I'm like, all right, driving to my dad's house. I stopped to get some gas. So I go in to pay for the gas, and I come out. Why is this man leaning on the back of my fucking car? Ty is leaning on the back of my fucking car. Literally leaning on the back of my car. And I literally just say, what the fuck? I say, bro, are you following me? And he's like, no. What the fuck you mean, no? So how did you get here? He talking about check your phone. Yo, I pull out my phone. I'm like, what am I checking? Like, what's up? What do you want? He like, go to our messages and click the little eye thing. You know how you click the little eye thing at the top? Y'all, why the fuck? I don't know how, but this nigga made me share my location with him. So he was like literally following where the fuck I was going, and I'm like, this man is crazy. I'm like, bro, like, he talking about, I'm sorry, I want to apologize. Nigga, this shit just happened not even 20 minutes ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you sorry, you know, like, the shit was weird. So I'm just like, bro, like, just leave me alone. Like, respectfully, just leave me alone. So I tell him, I'm like, bro, just get off my car, come on, I'm trying to pump my gas. You know, as I'm sitting there pumping my gas, he just steady in my face talking about, he's sorry, he's sorry, he's sorry. And I'm like, hi, like, I don't want no parts with you right now. Like, you disrespectful as hell. I'm good, like, just leave me alone. He says, okay, don't worry about it. And he goes to the next pump and hop in his car, and he drives off. So after I leave the gas station, I was was going to go to my dad's house, but then I was just like, no. I stopped at one of my friend's house that I went to school with, and we were just kind of just kicking it, chilling, you know, just talking. And I was explaining to her what was going on, and she like, yeah, like that man is crazy, like Ty, like he's crazy. Like I know like you haven't been around these years, but literally he's been to jail. And I'm like, what? And she like, yeah. I'm like, what the freak? So y'all, I forgot like when I had got there that I left the location on, literally, because I was mad. I just hopped in the car and I drove, and I'm like, wait a minute. And when as soon as I noticed, like I cut the location off, and I'm like, okay, y'all, by this time it's probably like 8 o'clock, maybe 2 hours passed, and it was like an hour before I planned on leaving, because I was planned on leaving before midnight. So I think it was like, it had to be like 10, close to 11 maybe. While we hear banging on the door, it's the police. And we like, who's that banging on the door? So we go to the door, and it's literally the police. We thinking we being loud, like we didn't got some complaints or something, you know what I mean? So we like, what's going on? Because we was laughing, you know, just whatever, I don't know. But then on top of that, like we like, that can't be possible, because this is a house. You're not finna hear somebody laughing, you know what I mean? Like what? So we like, what's going on? And the police officer is like, is there a Darrius here? I'm like, yes, officer, what's the issue? And he's like, can you step outside for me, please? I was like, sure. So I step on the porch, and so he says, we just got a call saying that you slashed somebody's tire and that you broke somebody's window. And I'll say, what? I'll say, no, I think you got the wrong person, officer. He talking about, no, your name is Darrius. And he was like saying my first and the last name. I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh, do you know who this is, such and such? And he told me Ty name. And I was like, yeah, but, and I was like, wait a minute, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, you're gonna have to come with me. And I'm like, officer, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on, no. So I'm begging the officer, I'm like, please work with me right now, because like I said, I don't know, what are you talking about? Like, come with you, like what? Like, what are you talking about? He talking about you did damage to somebody else's property and you're not trying to own up to it. I'm like, officer, like I can literally, I'm like, when did this happen? He's like, we got a call 30 minutes ago. And I'm like, officer, I'm like, you can literally like check everything, like all my social medias, like I've been here. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Y'all, so I told the officer, I said, officer, give me 1 second. I'm like, just give me just 1 second, please. I need to do this. He's like, okay. I said, I'm about to call him. I called Ty on the phone. I said, in front of the police, I said, so the police just left. You told them I vandalized your car, I bust your tires and bust your windows? He said, yeah, if you're not gonna let me be with you, then I'm gonna make your life a living hell. And I said, what? He said, let me see the phone. And he grabbed it. He said, hey, is this such and such? And he literally hung up. Y'all, literally, like, I don't even want to think about that night, because it was just crazy. I was livid. So let's fast forward. Luckily, we got everything handled. They literally almost was in court, literally. But like, luckily the officer handled everything that was supposed to have handled that night, and like I just provided proof that it wasn't me and everything, and like we was good. Okay, y'all, I was out there for maybe about 2 weeks. At this point, like I'm ready to go home, because it's just weird shit happened. Now that I was 20, you know, since I was 20 at the time and I was out the closet, my brother really wasn't kicking around him anymore. Not because he was like out the closet, but just because like we older now, you know, like we own different things and everything. So there was really no way that anybody would see him, you know. Y'all, I was at my dad's house. It was the morning time, and my brother walks in the door, and not too shortly after walks in Ty. Y'all, when he walked in, this man had the most evilest look on his face. I'm talking about like a little evil sneaky smile, and I'm just like, I said, he gonna have to go. He said, why? I said, man, you know why? Because I told my brothers, I told my parents like about everything, like, and he like, nah, man. He said, y'all was just you know, just little shit and blah blah. I'm like, little shit? This motherfucker tried to get me locked up for vandalizing his property, and I didn't even fucking do that. So what do you mean little shit? Because he called me a bitch. It started over some little shit of him calling me a fucking bitch. Like, so I say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I say, whatever y'all do. I literally just got up, I went to the bathroom, got in the shower and everything, because now I'm like, I'm not finna be here if he's here. About to leave and everything, right? So after I get out the shower, I leave, and I was about to go get some breakfast, because I'm just like, I'm not finna sit here. I invited my stepmom and everything. I'm like, you wanna come? She's like, yeah. Why we leave out and my tires are on flat? All four of them. All four of my tires are on flat. I literally looked at my stepmom and I said, Mom. She said, how did this happen? I said, this boy is crazy. She's like, what? I'm like, he's crazy. She was like, you think Ty did it? I said, I know for a fact. She said, no, I don't think he would do that. I said, he just called the police on me for saying I smashed his windows and his tires. She said, well, no, he said that it could have been anybody. You was just the last person. But why would you say it was me? And then when I called you on the phone, you said, if I can't have you, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. She told me, I don't think it was him. I said, I'm not doing this. I stormed back in the crib, and I ran full speed at this man, and I just like was trying to choke him out, because I'm like, bro, what the is your problem? Like, what do you have going on? So he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, he's trying to get me me off. My brother then pulled me off of him. And they like, what's going on? I'm like, man, this nigga just flattened my fucking tires. Like, he told me something. I did no such thing. I didn't flat your tires. I said, so then who did? I don't know. You need to check somebody else. Maybe one of your little hoes. So you basically snitching on yourself. This is you snitching. This is you literally snitching. Telling me that you did it. I told him, I said, look, man, I don't give a fuck what you do, but I'm gonna need you to leave out this motherfucker. And I'm gonna need you to run me some money to get my fucking tires fixed. Y'all, this nigga literally looked at me like, gave me that look and walked the fuck out. I was literally chasing after him and my brother grabbed me and was like, bro, just chill, relax. Y'all, I'm so fucking livid. Like, I was so pissed off. I was so fucking livid. I had to call everybody. Like, so luckily my best friend ended up sending me some money to get a tow truck, have them tow my damn car to the damn tire shop and get the tires fixed. And she just came in clutch. I just fucking loved it. But y'all was so pissed off. Like, I was ready to go. After I did that, I was literally on my way home. Literally on my way home. When he found out that I went home, I was getting so many missed calls and text messages from him. I was just ignoring him, y'all. I was literally ignoring his call. This man gets on Facebook and creates a fake page. On a fake page though, and tags me in a post of me. It was literally a picture of me, half naked, and says, weird niggas, and says this long paragraph of the most hateful shit that you could ever think of, y'all. Saying that I got all types of STDs, saying how I had a kid and that I lost custody of the kid. It was a lot of weird shit. It was very weird. But what, I didn't even give a fuck about what you were saying because I know that all that shit was lies and that it wasn't true. But it was the fact that you took a picture of me without me knowing. I was literally half fucking naked and you posted it. Now I should beat your ass. For real. You don't do that, you know? And I'm just like, what the fuck, y'all? When I saw that, I literally unblocked him and I just get to calling him. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And he like, this is what you deserve. You so fucking weird and you had the best nigga and this is how you treat them. So now I'm finna show you how to really treat a person and how to fucking act. I'm about to embarrass you on social media. And I'm like, I said, do what you do. I literally left it at that. I said, do what you do. Y'all, I filed a police report and everything. Turns out the shit worked out in my favor though because he ended up getting locked up for some other shit. The nigga literally got locked up for some other shit that I can't disclose right now. I can't disclose. I mean, he's out now, but he got locked up and that was his karma. He stopped fucking with me after that. But like, y'all, it's so much shit that's really to it. But I promised somebody that I would not mention it because it involves them as well, that he was doing that was just like very crazy and just weird. And to this day, this man don't hear from me and I don't hear from him because the shit was, y'all, he really tried to ruin my life. Like, I don't know, maybe I will give like a more in-depth story. Like maybe, okay, I'm gonna ask my friend. I'm gonna ask my friend if I'm able to tell the story. And if y'all want like a part 2, let me know and I will tell y'all like really all the psychotic, crazy nut job shit this man was doing. Like, it's way worse than, if y'all want a part 2, comment. But as of now, I'm gonna stop here because like I'm at the end of the story from where I haven't talked to him anymore. But like there was maybe like a good 5 more things that the man did within that duration of time. So if y'all want a part 2, comment it down below. But yeah, I don't know, y'all, that shit just crazy. Like thinking about it, like I literally was at a very low point in my life at that time because like I was even dealing with anxiety bad. So for me to experience some shit like that, like it was just crazy. It really upset me that he really tried to expose me as far as like my body, because you know I'm on social media. Why would you do that? All that other shit, I ain't worried about that. You know, now you know for a fact me, I ain't got no shit. You know I ain't got no fucking STD, man. And a fucking kid though, come on now, a kid, me. And also, like, I just want to say this because like I feel like a lot of y'all wasn't really understanding like why I had made an OnlyFans, but it was literally around that time I made the OnlyFans because he was trying to expose me on Facebook. So I was kind of like, I felt forced to make an OnlyFans because I'm like, you know what, people gonna see it anyway, so let me kind of make it seem like it was purpose, like it was on purpose. You see what I mean? Like I didn't want to feel like I was getting exposed. But luckily, you know, like we got the post taken down and nobody saw it as far as like social media wise. It was a lot. But yeah, that's why I had made the OnlyFans. That's why I was so defensive, like when a lot of people's like, oh, you're not posting this certain content on OnlyFans, like, you know, like because I wasn't really naked, and it's like I'm not comfortable, like I'm not ready for that, but I'm only making this OnlyFans because, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. And yeah, in reality I was trying to make it seem like I was making an OnlyFans for video, which it was good content to make as well, but it was a lot. Like I'm getting irritated again. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. I hope that y'all enjoyed that psychotic ass story time. I love y'all. Make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, click that bell on the side so that you can be notified. Make sure to just tell a friend or two because it is good for you. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in my next YouTube video. Bye.